From the News Channel 5 Network, this is SportsLine.
Hello and welcome to SportsLine. I'm Steve Wrigley. August 9th here on News Channel 5 Plus. We've got the next hour to talk about some sports. A lot going on in the city. The Titans heading into that first preseason game this Saturday at Nissan Stadium with the San Diego Superchargers. You always hear the players talk this time of year about how they can't wait to line up against somebody else. I just want to hit somebody else. I want to block somebody else in a different uniform. And they'll get that chance this Saturday. Big scrimmage last night at Nissan Stadium. You know, they had to do that Monday night because it was all rained out on Saturday with that horrible storm that blew through. The guys had a day off on Sunday. Then they were back at it last night. Give me a call here on SportsLine if you've been out to a practice yet, or if you were at the scrimmage last night and you want to talk about what you think could be a strength for the Tennessee Titans, or what you think they might still need to improve on. Plenty of room for improvement when you've won 5 games in the last 2 years, but there is no place to go but up for the Tennessee Titans. Our phone number is 737-7767. We're here for an hour. I just got done talking to Ben Hull. He says they had 4 calls last hour. I want 5 in this hour. I'm a competitive person. I want to talk to 5 people on the phone to talk about the Titans. Or maybe you like the big announcement today that Major League Soccer is trying to put together a plan to bring it to, well, they've got a plan. They're just trying to bring a team here and build a stadium. And it's a real who's who of power hitters on this list of people trying to bring this. It's Steve Underwood from the Tennessee Titans, Mr. Henry from the Nashville Predators, Colin Reed, a guy that is big in the hospitality industry here in town. Do you think we need a soccer team? And are they going to come after you, the taxpayer, for a little cash to build one more stadium when we've got that one down on the river that looks like it might have a couple more years in it, but they're just holding that thing together with Band-Aids. So do we need a soccer stadium? Did you like what you saw at the stadium last night out of the Tennessee Titans? Give me a call. Like I said, I want calls tonight. I want to hear from you guys. I want to talk to you. I want to hear what you're thinking about sports here in Nashville, or we can talk about the Blue Raiders up in Murfreesboro. You want to talk high school football? We can do that too. This is your show. I'm just merely here, kind of the point guard here on this thing, taking phone calls. If that phone rings, I've got a phone right here. Got a whole bunch of lines we can light up at 737-7767 here on SportsLine. It was a scrimmage last night. They got out there, first time underneath the lights. A good chance for all the rookies to kind of look around at that big, huge stadium, and hopefully they were doing a little visualization about some great things that could happen this year in the 8 home games or even the 16-game schedule. No place to go but up. A couple of rookies on offense making some pretty good impressions last night. Let's hear from Marcus Mariota, the Tennessee Titans' second-year quarterback, a guy who has taken to this city like none other. I was just talking to Brian McKeegan down in the sports office, and I said, what do you think about Marcus Mariota? He said, great guy. He says, that guy signs more autographs than any player I've ever seen come through this town, and he's been here for about 16 years. So Marcus Mariota trying to carry the banner for the Tennessee Titans here in year 2 of his career as the starting quarterback. Number 8 talks about what happened last night under the lights at Nissan Stadium.
Almost feel like the real thing coming out of the tunnel and having a little pomp and circumstance?
Yeah, it was good. It was good to kind of get in this atmosphere a little bit. It's part of it's getting ready.
Do you feel like you guys are ready for the kind of real thing Saturday night?
Yeah, definitely. I think guys are tired of hitting each other and they want to go out and showcase what this team's about.
What did you see tonight that kind of led you to believe that we're on the right track? Some good stuff.
Defensively they came out and played well. Hats off to them. I think they've got a good squad there. Offensively, we started off a little slow, but all in all, we were able to finish a good couple drives with the 2-minute drill. And there was good things and bad things all day, and we'll learn from it and get better. I think the no huddle helped a little bit, get in a rhythm. A lot of it was on me. It's unacceptable my play today. I can't be turning the ball over like that. I got to be putting these guys in better situations. But all in all, I was glad that we were able to come out and finish the drives that we did, and we had a pretty good red zone as well.
I feel like it was a little conservative, eased in. It didn't seem like you guys were going for a lot of stuff.
It's hard to say. I mean, you know, a lot of it's just getting a feel. You know, you come out here to get an opportunity to come out in the atmosphere and play in it. So, you know, again, it's hard to tell, but all in all, I was glad that we were able to finish strong.
So, sorry I missed the first part, but how would you rate the night for the offense?
You know, I think those guys did good. You know, on me, I didn't play very well, and it's unacceptable. I can't be turning the ball over. You know, I got to do a better job putting these guys in good situations. But at the end, I think we did a good job of finishing the 2-minute drives and did a good job in the red zone.
How good to be in the stadium just to get a Tajay Sharp, young guys, a chance to be in here where it won't be new to them on Saturday night?
I think it's pivotal. I think it's good for everybody to kind of get a little dress rehearsal, so it's not brand new come the first preseason game. So I think all in all, it was a good experience, something that we can learn and build off of, and get ready for Saturday.
What did you feel most disappointed outside of the pick that you referred to a couple times? What did you not do well?
Just handling some of the offensive situations, the false start, just a lack of kind of focus on my part. Again, those things, they can't happen and they won't happen.
What'd you think of the national anthem?
Awesome. I thought he did a great job. I don't know what you guys thought, but for him to step up and do that on a short notice says a lot about says a lot about his abilities and his talent.
You think you could pull that off?
Definitely not. Yeah. Definitely not.
Impressed with the defense tonight, Marcus? First team defense?
Yeah, I thought they did a great job. You know, I think coming out, they wanted to set a physical presence, and they did. And, you know, we got to step up to that. The offense can't back down from that. And I was glad to see that we were able to kind of finish a couple good drives at the end to kind of showcase that we're not backing down.
A couple guys talked about needing to clean up some things with the penalties and all. You feel like that's just something that will come the more reps you get?
Yeah, I mean, it's part of it. You know, this is training camp, and you're going to have penalties here and there. But it's stuff that we can build off and learn from. And you know, there was a lot of good things and there were some bad things, and we just got to make sure we look at the tape, learn from it, and move on.
Marcus Mariota not off to the start he wanted last night at the scrimmage, but it is just a scrimmage, just like the preseason games are just preseason games. The San Diego Chargers do come in Saturday. Joey Bosa nowhere to be found. Their #1 pick, they are just miles apart. They haven't even talked in weeks. The last offer that went into him, his agent and his team thought about it for 90 minutes, sent the message back to the Chargers, thanks, but no thanks. So you will not get to see him on Saturday night. Let's go to Jerry on line 1. Hey, Jerry, what's going on? Welcome to SportsLine.
Just hoping and praying for the Titans, pal.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. What are your hopes and what are your prayers for? Where are they directed?
I feel pretty good about the offense with Henry coming in and DeMarco Reynolds and whatnot. And I also feel pretty good about the fact that Mariota, he's a great quarterback, I believe, and he can pass and he can run. And the one thing that he didn't have was the offensive line, you know, holding down their end.
They're a very young offensive line, but they seem like they have the potential to get it back to where it was back in the early days when what were the old teams? Zach Pillars, Benji Olsen, Brad Hopkins, Bruce Matthews. They don't have a Bruce Matthews on this team, but they do have a lot of young offensive linemen that if they grow and they continue to progress and they can get just mean and nasty and open up holes for Derrick Henry and protect Mariota and get DeMarco Murray some space, they could do some really good things. I was a little curious about how Derrick Henry was catching the ball out of the backfield. You know, at Alabama, they just handed him the thing and he ran through holes that were, you know, you could have driven a tractor trailer through those holes. But and I hear that he's catching the ball well. As a matter of fact, Sylvester Croom said that he had dropped one pass in the entire camp. That he's got great hands, something I had not seen out of college. And boy, how effective would that be if Mariota had him as a release valve, and then he could get some of these wide receivers to start creating some space and dragging the DBs downfield. And boy, it'd be great to see some running backs run wild down there. What other areas of the team do you like? What do you like about this team?
Well, I like Mr. Delaney, tight end, and also McAllister. I think they can do a lot to help the offense. I think that the main focus is going to be on the offensive line, and those defensive guys, once the offense grows force, and I feel certain that it will, our defense are going to have to step up on those third downs and
Get off the field.
Yes, sir. I believe that's going to be the focus. And I tell you what, I think everybody believes in this team and the decision that they've made to bring in these players and whatnot. And I know they picked up a new offensive lineman upstate that's going to help them. And we got Warmack, if we can keep him healthy and whatnot. I think that they'll surprise you. I'm praying. I feel like they can make the playoffs with what we got if we all play together.
Amen to that. Now let me ask you this: What do you think about Mike Mularkey? Did you like that hiring, and how patient will you be with him to get this football team going?
Well, he's not that Jeff Fisher, that Super Bowl coach, that great coach. And I know Mariota hasn't lived up to Steve's potential, and some of the other guys that come along, Collins and whatnot. But I tell you what, I think he could if they give him the protection. And if we all go out there and support them and whatnot, and the team, it's a team thing. People got to remember, it's just not one player. You know what I mean? When you're out there, it's 11 guys working together, functioning as a team.
It's
so
11 guys.
I say, and I'm looking forward.
It's also the backups too. I mean, you've got to have depth. And that's one of the hardest things, I think, for a young team to get, or a team that hasn't had that much success. Although a lot of guys will give you a shot. A lot of free agents would like to come here because they think that there's a way to make that roster and get that NFL check. But getting depth for a team that hasn't won many games, that's a tough thing. All right, give me a number. Give me two numbers. What do you think? 6-10, 4-12. Where are they going this year? 8-8. I've heard 8-8 out there, but that would be huge.
No, I'm going to go with this offensive lineman, and this coach. Y'all forget that this coach also has been involved in the Super Bowl and whatnot. Given all these things into consideration, I'm saying playoffs. I'm saying wild card in the playoffs. And if there's anybody out there disputing what I'm saying, I guess we need to sit down and pray about it. But this is what I'm feeling now, and I'm feeling that. I'm adding this in. I'm feeling Tennessee Vols. This is their year. Anything less than a Sugar Bowl would be a disappointment, and I don't think the fans gonna be disappointed. Not with the Titans or with the Tennessee Vols. I think Bush done a good job, and I feel like that we're gonna be okay. Let's just call in and let's just keep praying, okay?
Amen to that. Thanks for the phone call, brother. I appreciate that. You mentioned the coaching staff, and this is one of the most experienced coaching staffs that I've seen in a long time in the NFL. I mean, everybody knows it starts with Dick LeBeau, the longtime assistant. He's been in the NFL longer than most of the people listening to this program right now. Long-time career, Hall of Fame career as a coach. He was a very good player as well. And then he's got Sylvester Croom, who was the first African-American to be a head coach in the SEC. Sylvester was also down in Jacksonville coaching running backs when I was working down there. Had a chance to sit down and talk to him on a number of occasions. Very wise man, and I think he'll be a good teacher. And you need good teachers, and you need good coaches that have been around to kind of bring these young guys up to speed. Russ Grimm, offensive line coach, one of the Hogs from the Washington Redskins, was on the All-Decades team, voted one of the top Redskins of all time. That guy's a character. I was reading up on him last night, and Mark May, who was one of his teammates in Washington, said that nobody personified what it was to be a Hog, which was the name of that great line that went to, I think won 3 Super Bowls, went to 4, and in the 80s with Joe Gibbs. Russ Grimm going to do a great job. And as Jerry was talking about, the offensive line is really going to be a key to get this team to be able to move the football. And Russ Grimm is going to really set a good attitude. It's got to be really good to have him influencing those young guys, the Lawans and the Warmacks and Conklin, who was just by all reviews doing a great job picking things up in the NFL. And let's just hope that they have a good, nasty offensive line, and they go back to the old ways of the Titans, winning with great defense, making it tough to score, the defense getting off the football field, getting the ball back to the offense, and then just that great running attack that they used to have. It may take a couple years. It may take 2 years. It may happen halfway through this season. I don't know. It'll be exciting to see him get out there in the preseason on Saturday against the San Diego Chargers. But then again, preseason football is really tough to watch. I think it's really tough to pay for to go watch. I like having it on at home if you're just sitting around with something on, the tube, to just kind of sit around and see a lot of guys that you won't be seeing trying to make a name for themselves and make the roster. Let's go to line 2. You're on the air, buddy. What's your name? What do you want to talk about?
My name is Paul.
Okay, Paul, what's going on?
I just want to touch on what you're saying about them coaches. I read somewhere that there was 363 years of NFL coaching experience on this Titans team now, and that's got to count for something. It's got to count for more than 6 and 10 or 7 and 9. It's got to, at some point, it's got to feel good to us, and I think it's starting to. Well,
they always say, though, in the NFL, it's about the Jimmies and Joes, not the X's and O's. But you got to have a good combination of both of them. It's a players' league. If and I've said this over and over again about Mike Mularkey. He never really had good players in Buffalo. He never had good players in Jacksonville. His roster last year was not that good, but this is the first time I think in his career where he's got a GM where they have a plan, and the GM has some great bloodlines coming up through New England and doing some good things in Tampa Bay. And so if they can get some good players, those coaches, but,
let me say this.
Okay.
You've got Coach Kroom on the offense coaching the running backs. And he came out of the University of Alabama, played under Barry Bryant, and Alabama still has a Sylvester Kroom Achievement of Excellence Award going on down there, and so I think he's got the coaching staff to kill for, and I think we're going to do a lot better than 7 and 9 or 6 and 10.
Yeah, I don't know if 7 and 9. I would take that. I would take that right now.
Well, we might get a wild card out there.
7, especially in the AFC South. But again, you have to have good players, and I'm just happy for Coach Mularkey that he's getting a chance to start a season from the get-go, where everybody knows he's the guy. Everybody knows that the GM is on board with this hire, and that they can work together, because he didn't have that situation in Jacksonville. The GM that hired him, Gene Smith, got run off, and then the new guy came in, and he wanted his own guy, and he got him in Gus Bradley. Mike only lasted 1 season there, had 2 wins, I believe it was, 2, maybe 3, and then in Buffalo he didn't have great players. And somebody before mentioned the great Jeff Fisher. Now, Jeff Fisher put the Titans on the map in this town with that team that he had. But he also had a future MVP in Steve McNair. He had one of the best running backs you could get in Eddie George. He had arguably the greatest offensive lineman of all time in Bruce Matthews. So Jeff Fisher had a lot of players, and Jeff had a couple of stinkers. There were a couple of years where they would go 12-4. 11-5, or right in that mix, 10 wins, make the playoffs. But there was a couple of 4. I think there was 1 or 2 4-win seasons in there.
Oh yeah.
So it's all about having good players and building the right attitude, the right philosophy around the franchise. And a lot of players want to come here because they think that there's a good shot at a paycheck because there's been 5 wins the last 2 seasons. But now it's up to the Titans and Mularkey and the front office to create an environment that people want to come here. And I think they did that. One big step was redoing that locker room. Getting a state of the art. You might not think that means much, but to 22 and 28 and 29-year-old guys, they want the creature comforts. The job's hard enough, man. It's a grind. The NFL season is a grind, and people get worn down, and if your surroundings can make things go a little bit easier and make you feel a little bit better about what you're doing, then that's what it is. Hey, Paul, you got a number in mind? You brought out 7 and 9, 6 and 10, did you say?
Yeah, at least.
All right. Hey, well, before you go, what's your favorite memory of the Titans? What's one particular game? I know the Music City Miracle is the easy one there.
They come up a half yard short. That was a good game.
That was a great game.
I won't never forget that.
That was something else. Hey, I appreciate the call, Paul. We're going to take a break here. We've got 2 calls. We've got 3 to go here in the hour. The number is 737-7767. Give me a call. I'm Steve Wrigley here on SportsLine, sitting in for Steve Lehman and John Burton. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. Thanks for watching.